that your book or your movie or your series has to be so high quality that the youth are willing to lavish 48 hours on you. I certainly think they should be included. And I've been, this is an area of passion for me, and I've been speaking of it for years. That I think one of the biggest problems with our education system is that it's a very colonial education system. It's not really rooted in India, and this is something that is a problem across all subjects. In mathematics, they do not teach Bodhayana or Bhaskaracharya. They'll teach Pythagoras. In medicine they do not teach Sushruta or Charaka. The epics are not just about stories; they are philosophical lessons. There are deep, like for example, the instructions that Sugriv gives to his people, where trying to tell them to search for Sita Ma. If you actually read through it, you will realize it's actually a geography lesson, but in the garb of a story, so you enjoy it. So these things should be a part of our storytelling, of our education. Sorry. History, for example, our history, I think, in my opinion, is too much of a Delhi focus. Other parts of India are completely ignored. That's not good. So, and obviously the British and the Mughals would need to be covered. They are massive, but Lodhis were glorified zamindars. Why they covered so much? And Rajen Chola, one of the greatest conquerors India has ever known, is reduced to just 2 lines. Or the Marathas, for example, the British didn't conquer India from the Mughals; they conquered it from the Marathas. But until Bajirao Mastani was made by Sanjay Leela Bhansali, most Indians hadn't heard of him. He was one of the greatest generals India ever knew. Then the Palas of Bengal, the Gurjar Pratiharas, the Hoysalas, the Kakadiyas, Rudrama Devi, one of the, what a fantastic role model, yeah. A woman warrior, leader of a large empire. Nothing is known of her, across India. That also was not covered in our history books. There was a wonderful poem written on Jhansi Ki Rani, correct, which is why she became popular. History books actually ignore her, if you think about it. So what was it? And now, because a movie has got made, people know about Jhansi Ki Rani. So I'm saying so many different parts of India. Maharaja Ranjit Singh, the great Sikh ruler. The first Indian king to defeat a European power was Martanda Varma from Kerala. How many Indians have heard of him? Kharavela from Kaling, from Odisha. So many great parts of India, the home dynasty of Assam, have all been ignored, in our history. That's not good. So our education system really needs to be Indianized. The colonial influence needs to go, and it will be good for our country, it will be good for our people. Again, this is just a trope that's handed about. If it was true, books won't be selling in big numbers. Look, the reality is 10-15 years ago, bestseller in India meant 5,000 copies. That's it, just 5,000 copies in a country of 1.3 billion people. By that time it would have been a little less, but still not by that much. Today there are 2 authors who are selling in the millions, Chetan and me. There are many authors who are selling in the lakhs, maybe 5 or 10. And today, to be a bestseller, you need to sell at least 40-50,000 copies. So, and where has this market come from? From the youth. The youth are the people who are buying. I am saying once again, the youth, if they like you, they will lavish attention on you. But if your quality is not good enough, they'll drop you in 2 seconds. Okay, so look, the challenge is up to the writer or the filmmaker or the series maker to make a book that is high quality enough that they will lavish attention on you. Look, on the surface, the purpose of a story is to entertain, right? And that's what most people would assume. And I'm not denying that is an important purpose of the story, but it is not the core purpose of a story. What our ancestors believed, that a story must have some philosophies embedded in it. Any story without a philosophy is like a body without a soul. There is no purpose to it, and it doesn't matter if the reader agrees with the philosophy or disagrees with it. That doesn't matter as long as you provoke the reader to think. And I think that that truly is the main purpose of a story, and every author must try and at least I believe must try and work towards that. There's some ideology, some philosophy that you hope to convey through your stories. I hope not, because my books will stop selling then. No, it's like this. I know there's this belief that the youth of today have very low attention spans. There's this study I'd read which was done on the American youth, but people like to extrapolate that to the youth across the world, where they'd shown that American youth have a lower attention span than that of a goldfish, okay, which is 8 seconds. Every 8 seconds they'll think of something else. But I think to say that all the youth today have absolutely zero attention spans would be a misreading of the situation. The true way to understand is, people of my generation, I'm 44, we would have average attention spans for most things. The youth of today will either give you no attention or they lavish attention on you. So it's a very interesting intriguing play out of Aristotle's hollowing out of the middle. So there is no average attention span anymore. So they'll give you just a few seconds and just switch off, or if they like you, they'll spend an entire weekend binge watching an entire series, say on Netflix or Amazon. They'll spend an entire weekend hopefully reading my books, correct, because my books are also trilogies or series, right? So I think that makes it far more challenging for a content creator, an author, filmmaker, that your book or your movie or your series has to be so high quality that the youth are willing to lavish 48 hours on you. Okay, my generation couldn't do that. Like I'm a huge fan of Amitabh Bachchan, I'm a huge fan of Rajnikant, but if you ask me to watch 5 movies of theirs in a row, I can't do it. I can watch one, then that's it. Then I need to take a break. But the youth today, they can do it. Okay, so I think it's a misreading to say that they have zero attention spans. They either give you nothing or they give you everything. As a content creator, where do you want to be? The choice is up to you. Make a good quality book or a movie or a series. I think it'll be arrogant of me to say that I chose Lord Shiva. Who am I to choose him? I'm just lucky that he blessed me with his story. And the Shiva Trilogy began as a philosophy on an answer to this question, what is evil? And it's not a simple answer, it's a very complex answer. And the idea of the story is to try and convey that philosophy in hopefully an engaging, page-turning manner. So if the story is to convey a philosophy on evil, then the best hero is obviously the destroyer of evil himself, Lord Shiva. The fact that he's a very cool god to write about also makes it very easy. As one of my younger readers had said, Lord Shiva is the dude of the gods. And for my second series, the Ram Chandra series, of which 2 books have come out, Ram Sign of Ikshvaku, Sita Warrior of Mithila, and the third book, Raavan, is going to come out by mid this year. That the core philosophy around which this series is built is an exploration on this question, that what is an ideal society, what is Ram Rajya, and so therefore obviously the heroes and heroines of this become Lord Ram and Lady Sita. So the story is built around the philosophy that I want to convey. I might write a series on the Mahabharata. I've left clues for that in the Ram Chandra series and Shiva Trilogy. But there's also a very intriguing idea that has struck me, and I don't know if I might take it up. Something which connects the modern day and the ancient era with time travel and video gaming. It's a very, very different genre. and a very intriguing story that has struck me. I might take that up also. I don't know. But first, I have to finish the Ram Chandra series, which is a 5-book series, so that'll take some time.
So when is Raavan coming?
It'll be out by mid this year. Yeah, yeah. My apologies for the delay. I know I've been getting a lot of galis from my readers. It was supposed to come out, late last year. Yeah, end last year. I've had some personal problems in life, and that has delayed the writing. But it'll be out by mid this year, certainly. Like I said, I have an idea which involves gaming and time travel, man. So I don't really think of genres while writing. I kind of just the way I see it is Lord Shiva blesses me with these stories. I don't know why. My job is to keep my antenna up, and just receive the stories when they come. So where my creative journey will go, I don't really know. I just walk the path that's laid out by him. And that's actually a much more fun journey, rather than thinking 20 years later that's where I'm going to be. Then the journey is very boring, no? Then I primarily read non-fiction in the genres of science, politics, economics, spirituality, mythology, history, these kind of genres. I don't do research while writing a book. That distracts me. But I read a lot. So I read at least 5-6 books per month. So and I travel. I don't like to do too many events or things. I usually do them only around book launch times. I don't do too many TV panel discussions or anything like that. So but I like to travel a great deal. And for me, traveling is also an educational experience because you learn from different people. So for me, this is kind of like research. Everything that I'm doing when I'm not writing is research, because when I'm reading, it could be on any subject, but it's research in some way. When I'm meeting people, when I'm traveling to different parts of India, different countries, going to historical places, meeting locals, trying to learn a local language, trying to eat local food, as long as it's not too gross, you learn things, right? And then that goes into the book.